Hello, it's me again. This is Benedict 1969 now, bringing you yet another Book of Shadows update. Right, most of you who have seen my videos before will have seen my book. I'll give you a quick run through the pages, and then we'll come to the new section. But I'm going to show you it all again anyway. Okay, opening page, Rose Cross Lamen, which I think is it makes quite a nice opening page. 1 Corinthians 3:16, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you. I thought that was quite a good opener. It's very, very Gnostic in sentiment there. I'm quite surprised for the Bible, to be honest. A little bit of gold leaf around there, which looks very nice. Gareth Knight, History of White Magic. Quite a nice passage explaining the workings of the higher imagination. Common symbols of magic. Here we go. Most of you who are interested in this kind of thing will have seen all these symbols before. You'll know what they stand for. So I'll just quickly flip through those. Obviously, if you're empty spaces, they've got to be filled up yet. Zodiac symbolism page, the Gardnerian Wheel of the Year, 8-fold calendar. Okay, with full explanation. And anything that goes in this book also has a full explanation with it. I like to completely understand. I'll get my head around things before it goes in the book. Number plate, Gematria, quite fun. Okay, some of John Dee's work. Well, some of John Dee's and Henry Kelly's work, I should say. Recreation of the Enochian script and their associated name. Language of the angels, the alphabet they devised for that. The Agla device there, which was actually designed by John Dee to go on the reverse of the Sigillum de Ameth, which incidentally took bloody ages to get right. I think that was my 3rd attempt. Magic circles, okay, consecrating circles, obviously the diagram of the triangle of the art there. Very, very old magic circle design there, okay. Instructions into casting a circle, meditation circles. I think Israel Regardie used this device, and all these names fit into the spiral of the snake. Oh, I don't have a pen small enough to do that, so they had to go on that page. That's a recreation of that. Okay, maintaining the circle, closing the circle, 13 ways of looking at a circle. Understanding something before you use it, I think that's the key. Okay, full explanation of the sigil of Ameth. How to work out the angelic names. Sons of sons, daughters of daughters, etc., etc., all the corresponding tables, and that's where that ends there, the magical square section here. Little bit about the histories of magical squares, why they were so common, different types, and sigil creation using magic squares as a base. I like that. That's something I like. It's a bit of a favourite of mine. Okay, more magic squares. Showing you the glyphs and seals of the planets, also with the corresponding table there. Okay, tarot on the Tree of Life, tarot in the Hebrew alphabet. I'm a tarot reader myself, so it's all important to get certain things linked in. Nice description of the Tree of Life, or the Kabbalah there. Okay. All talking about different sections of the Tree of Life, all the important things: the supernal triangle, astral triad, and the ethical triangle. Mention of the 4 worlds and correspondences, also with the table there. Okay, right, the basics: Adam Kadmon, the body of man, Guf Nefesh, lightning flash, the serpent's rise, and a small description of the 22 paths. Also with a reference table. You might have worked out I do like my reference tables. I like everything to interconnect. I just like to understand where everything is with the next thing. Arabian squares. bit of a game, really. I think we used to do something like this when we were kids. You stick a pin in, and then from that letter you use every 8th letter, and it gives you an answer to your question. Quite fun. Okay, Uthark, or Futhark, as most people will know it, arrangement of Norse runes, also with the Tarot Rune Association. So it completes the link between tarot and rune. If you know one, you can more or less read the other because the meanings tally. Greek alphabet, just because I like it. And I've got more Egyptian stuff coming in this book, so I'll put a copy of the Egyptian hieroglyphic alphabet in as well, just for my reference. Eye of Horus with gold leaf, that turned out quite nice. I don't know if you can see it glinting in the camera there. Yeah, there you go. I might do those as well, just to complete the page. That will look nice. And also a rendition of the tree language of the Druids, or the Ogham, which is modern Irish. Quite, well, I think it's a beautiful alphabet, really. So simplistic. Very nice. Okay, and then a copy of the Hebrew and the angelic script, both alphabets there. I put them on facing pages because they have quite similar meanings to each other. Right, next section. The next section is, here we go, Napoleon's Book of Fate. As I say, you will have seen this before in some of my previous videos, but it's just another quick run through in the book. Okay, Napoleon's Book of Fate there, method of working the questions. This was a Book of Fate that he left after he was defeated. I think it was in Leipzig in 1801. If my dates are right, I may be corrected. But all these tables of answers, it's quite an in-depth oraculum to use. Lots of answers. Okay, coming up to Geomancy, which started in Africa. I've all little geomantic figures there. It's a method of casting stones and reading out the design on the ground. Very similar to our native tea leaf reading, and also the Chinese I-Ching. And it's and I'm always fascinated by the fact that different populations, different civilizations have come up with something so similar. Okay, something most people out there will recognise, the Banishing ritual. Okay, full ritual there, lesser ritual of the pentagram, and greater ritual of the pentagram, in pictorial form, with all the correct names in all the right cardinal points there of the lesser ritual, just as a visual help. And of course all the pentagrams all correctly drawn with the directions in which they are traced in the air. And the same again with the lesser ritual of the hexagram, which brings you to the concluding cross. Okay. Now, next section. Where is it? Here we go. This is the new section. Voodoo. Oh, I'll leave that there, I think. Now this section went in because I didn't understand anything at all about voodoo, and it's such a beguiling thing. It's not only is it a very popular world religion, but it's a very powerful magical system. And for those of you who are fans of James Bond, will automatically recognise this guy. He's Baron Samedi. He's the guy who came out of the grave and then got his head blown off by James Bond. Of course, that would never happen. He's way too cool. I mean, look at him. I mean, what system has characters looking as cool as that in it? Not many. Not many. He's my favourite deity, so he went on the facing page. And I think he looks damn fine. Okay. Yeah. Those of you who already know something about voodoo, or wanting to look into something about voodoo, will know that the relationships between the deities in the voodoo pantheon are very, very complicated. Let me give you a quick example. Okay, we have a deity here called Erzuli Freda, who is married to Ogun. Fair enough. Erzuli Freda is also married to a deity called Agwe, which this is his Veve here. Okay. Who is also married to a deity called La Sirene, or La Belen, who is a darker part of herself. Okay. Agwe is also had an affair with Aida Wedo, who is married to Dambala Wedo, who is married to Erzuli Freda. That's why I had to work that family tree out and write it down, because there was no way I was going to understand that if I didn't see it in pictorial form. So it's there in the book, and that helps me immensely. Now each one of these designs, they're called a Veve, and they're all written on the ground. using corn flour, and the designs are very precise, all traced on the ground with the corn flour, and they're really, really beautiful. If you've ever seen any pictures of them done, there's a hell of a lot of skill involved, but they're very beautiful. Now each one of these deities has their own Catholic counterparts as well, so then it can be tied in with other religions. But there's La Sirène, Loco, and here's two of my favourites. These are the main guys. Referring back to the family tree that we saw before, some of them have a petro manifestation or another side to them, which is also very confusing. So let me just, that's it. Papa Legba is the gatekeeper to the spirit world. Now this guy is as well, Carrefour, but this guy and this guy, these two deities, Papa Legba and Carrefour, they are one and the same. But this Carrefour here, whose Catholic counterpart is Satan, is Papa Legba's petro manifestation. I won't spend too much time in explaining any more about it, but to get your head around it first before inking anything in the book, it nearly screwed me up. But I eventually got there. It's absolutely crazy, yet it makes complete sense once you understand it. What a strange system. And that's finishing off with Carrefour's verve there. Okay, I'll show you the last section, and then that's about me done, I think. As I say, people who've seen my videos before will recognise this section. It's yeah, I think we're there, yeah. Okay, the Medallion of St. Benedict, which is an interesting... well, it's like Voodoo, but it's connected to the Catholic Church. It's a magical talisman. It's also known as the Exorcism Medallion, the Medallion of St. Benedict. A little medallion that hangs around your neck, keeps evil spirits away. Okay, that's fine. But I don't think the church would say it's magic. In fact, you'd be frowned upon if you said that, so don't mention that on Sunday morning. It tells you about the origin of the medal, the blessing of the Medallion of St. Benedict, how to get it correctly blessed. Also all the Latin that's around the outside of the medal. Just your capital letters, which stand for the first letter of a verse. But I've got all that in, the Latin is written out with the English translation underneath. And there's the English translation. Just an interesting thing, so it went in the book. But talking about exorcism, we're finishing off with the Roman ritual of exorcism there. Just basically because I had a copy knocking around in a book at home, as you do. And all these little marks here, they're the physical movement, the physical marks of the cross, all the way through the ritual, all the way through till the end. And you have the separate psalm readings there that can be put in. Exorcism of Satan and apostate angels. It's quite a powerful ritual, you know. It needs to be endorsed by the Catholic Church before it's spoken out, before it's used. But there, full ritual with an amen ending page, which I thought it deserved. And here, your prayers commonly used in exorcism, your Paternoster, which is your Lord's Prayer, Ave Maria, the Gloria, the Anima Christi, and the Salve Regina. And of course, the artwork on this page isn't finished yet, as you can tell. It looks quite bare at the minute. But that's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed. And I shall be posting regular updates on this book. But I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's inspired some of you to, I don't know, to maybe start your own. But until then, this is Brant, 1969-9, signing off. Till next time. See ya.